Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, in the county of Shell. And today's date is October the 6th, 2014, early Monday morning. It's time is 2:50 a.m. and the date today's video, yesterday's date, which will be Sunday, October the 5th of 2014. Excuse me. I want to first say thank you to all my fans and my supporters for your continued encouragement and support. And I'll continue to work on my entertainment music interests. I'll continue to be employed at a company called Amerifry right here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, right here in the county of Shell, right there on the corner of Vance Avenue and Walnut Street. And I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my associate degree in business administration with a concentrated mark. And as I inform my fans that before the end of October, I will be going back to the studio. I'm definitely working on my music, and I'm just about through. And I already did a lot of. I've already worked on a lot of, and I'm still working on a little bit still a little bit left. But definitely before the end of October, I will be going to the studio to record, and then after I record, I will be making a video, and so be on the lookout for that very soon. And like I always tell my fans, in the past, that I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it again. I never did support that street gang called, that's in Los Angeles, California, called itself the Blood Street Gang, the Crip Street Gang. And I said this in the past, I'm gonna say it again. I don't support it. And based on education, from an educational standpoint, you don't have no argument anyway. So I don't. It's really no interest in that whatsoever. And trying to claim you from the city of Chicago, or up there in the state of Illinois. City of Chicago, is in the county right there in Cook County. It's something that you don't have no claim to anyway. And that's really why I'm in the process of getting myself registered up there in the city of Chicago right now with the trap organization and the trap registration and protection agency, and www.nbskmt.com. The Nobles Comedicators, or the Sablistic Man, and New Comedic Society, and the Trapanesiatic people. Then you can go to www.Shiraki.com, and the Sovereign Nation of Shiraki, and that's who from Chicago. That's who have a legitimate claim to Chicago. You know the history of DuSable, and it speaks for itself. I don't even have to go into all this. It speaks for itself. And we're gonna move right into African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. We have to acknowledge, like my video yesterday, I'm gonna reiterate everything I said yesterday on today's video. You have to acknowledge and recognize the people, African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. Let's get into it. The Afro-Asiatic people are the Berber, the Chadic, the Cushite, Egyptian, the Omani, and the Semitic. And we're gonna start with the Semitic people. And as you know, the Semitic people belong to the Afro-Asiatic people, to the Afro-Asiatic classification. And when it comes to Semitic languages, uh, the first language we're gonna deal with is the Arabic. Is the Arabic language. And, when you deal with the Arabic language, you have classical Arabic, you have modern standard Arabic, and you have colloquial or dialectical Arabic. And when you deal with, when you research Arabic, you're gonna have like Palestinian Arabic or Moroccan Arabic or Egyptian Arabic, so on and so on, things of that nature. But the Arabic language is a Semitic language, and also the Amharic language. Amharic being the official language of the African nation of Ethiopia. And when it comes to dialects, excuse me, you really won't find in your research. I didn't really just try to get that in depth, but I just tried to, see, based on the surface, whether there's some type of, and based on the surface research, uh, the Amharic language, being that it's the official language of Ethiopia, you're not gonna really find no dialects. The Amharic is a Semitic language. The Hebrew language. The Hebrew language, which is the Canaanite language, is a Semitic language. Now, when you deal with, when you do the research on the Hebrew language, you're gonna find that the Canaanite language being the Phoenician language, which is an extinct language, and also the Punic language, also extinct. And when you deal with Hebrew, you're going to find archaic biblical Hebrew, standard biblical Hebrew, late biblical Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, Dead Sea Scroll Hebrew, Mishnaic Hebrew, Ammonite, and Moabite, and Edomite Hebrew, biblical Hebrew, Tiberian Hebrew, Mizrahi Hebrew, Yemenite Hebrew, Sephardic Hebrew, Ashkenazi Hebrew, Medieval Hebrew, Haskalah Hebrew, Modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, Ancient Samaritan Hebrew, and Samaritan Hebrew. And again, that's Hebrew language. And the Hebrew is a Canaanite. And the Canaanite language is a Semitic language. Now, Tigrinya is the official language of Eritrea and one of the official languages of Ethiopia. And you do your research on the surface, you may not find like some dialects, but like I say, Tigrinya is a Semitic language. Aramaic. Now, Aramaic is a Semitic language of the African. All these languages are Afro-Asiatic. And the Aramaic language is Old Aramaic, Middle Aramaic, and Modern Aramaic. And when you say Aramaic, we're talking about Mesopotamia, Babylon, which is modern day Iraq, part parts of Iran, the Syrians, parts of Syria, uh, parts of the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, parts of Jordan. Those are considered to be your Aramaic region and peoples, and then they spread out. And like I said, Aramaic is Afro-Semitic language, and the Semitic language is an Afro-Asiatic language. Now, Berber language. The Berber is an Afro-Asiatic language, and the Berber has some, dialects is Tashilkit, Kabyle, Atlas, Tamazight, Rifian, Shawi, and Tuareg. You know, those are your Berber. That's Berber language, and Berber is an Afro-Asiatic language. You know, your Omatic language is an Afro-Asiatic language. You know, you'll find that there's some dialects. You have the North and South Omatic branches. You know, you have Bambasi, West Mao, Dazor, Gange, Gamajon, Gange, Keyford, and Boro, and Fila, Cafe, Chikacho, and Gamojan, Yimse, Omite, Gamire, Bitch, and Chare. Those are that's Omatic language, and that's an Afro-Asiatic language. And then you have your Chadic language. Your Chadic language is an Afro-Asiatic language. You know, you have your West Chadic, and it's broken down into three, A, B, and C. A is the Hase, the Ron, the Boli, the Angus, and then the B is the Baby, Waja, Zoa. Then you have your Central Chadic, BU, Midare, and it has three branches. A is the Bure, the Kamwi, and the Bete. Then you have your B is your Badume and Musku. And then your C is Gadar. Then your East Chadic be Tunak, and Siri, and Kire. Then the B being the Nagaliad, Okulu, and Sokola. And then you have your Mese. That's your Chadic, Afro-Asiatic language. Then you have your Kushite, Afro-Asiatic language. You know, it had branches. You have your Bayer, North Kushite, Central Kushite, Highland East Kushite, Lowland East Kushite, Dudley, and your South Kushite, Afro-Asiatic. Then you have your Egyptian, Afro-Asiatic. Your Egyptian broken down into archaic Egyptian, old Egyptian, middle Egyptian, late Egyptian, demotic Egyptian, and Coptic Egyptian. That's your Afro-Asiatic. Now, your Nilo-Saharan uh, language classification. You know, the branches of that are your Luo, your Kanuri, your Sangha. You know who Sangha is Mansa Musa, and slave trading so-called Muslim or whatever you want to call it. That's a Sangha empire. And then you have Mestizo, your Nubians up there. And then you have your Lubare, your Kalenjin. Then you have in the Kalenjin dialect, you have your Nandi and your Poka. Then you have your Lango, you have your Dinka, you have your Choli, you have your Maasai, you have your Ngambe, your Nuer, your Fur, your Tugu, and then your Tugu have a dialect, Tazage, and Tigage. Now all those languages, dialects, are Nilo-Saharan. Nilo-Saharan. Now, your Niger Congo, your Niger Congo, your Niger Congo classification language, your Cordofonians, your Mindi, and then your Mindi and Bambare, and your Soniki, your Ajoy, which is Ajo and Defake, your Dogon, your Atlantic, which is Wolo and Fule, your Crew, which is BT and Yahweh and Dade, your Sanufo, which is Sinari and Supyiri, your Gur, which is Moor, your Adamawe, which is Chambe, your Ubanji, which is Sango, which is your Ubanji language, is your Sango, and then you have your Kwe, which is a Can, your Voltanaja, which is your West Binu Congo, then you have your Jibi language, which is your Ibi, then you have your Yoruba and your Igbo, which is Edo, your Nuke, Adome, and your Tia. Then you have your East Binu Congo, and your East Binu Congo, which is your Bantu family, like your Swahili, your Fang, your Congo, Zulu, Swazi, Biti, Bengali, Kikuyu, Kambe, Gusi, Miru, Sukume, Inyamwisi, Gogo, Katube, Luande, Mbudu, Congo, Yake, Gande, Chiga, Inyekori, Soge, Haye, Luya, Nandi, Rwanda, Rundi, Hey, Lube, Sangi, Tange, Kuse, Ingandi, Inyange, Tambuke, Sine, Makue, Yoe, Ingulu, Mbudu, Hiroro, Shone, Indaudu, your South, your Soto, Tiswane, and your North, Soto, PD, which is South Soto, Tiswane, South Indibili, and North Indibili, Lozi, Tisange, Tiswe, Range, Chopa, and Dende. All the languages that I just spoke of are your Niger, Congo, A and B. Now you know your core and your sayings. Those are your click consonant languages. And it's two groups of people. You have your core people and your sans people. The core and the sans people. research, my pronunciation of the chord in the saying is not that very good. So, but the chord in the saying, their language, some of their languages are extinct, and some are moribund. And but that's another classification. Your chord and your saying people. And then you have your Malagasy, which is your Austronesian language. It's the national language of Madagascar. And the Malagasy language is the westernmost member of the Malayo-Polynesian branch of the Austronesian language family. And it's related to the Malayo-Polynesian language of Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and so on. And, again, that's your Malagasy, that's your Austronesian language. And, now, before I end this video, like we spoke about yesterday, you have to acknowledge and recognize the people. African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, you must recognize the people. The religion is just not active without any participation from any human beings on this planet. You have to acknowledge the people. And there are people living on this planet. When you say African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, the religion, African traditional religion is not a religion that's written down in a book, or it's something that when you practice, when you express African traditional religion and West African traditional religion, the people, it's automatic. It's automatic. You're not like you don't like you just walk away from it. That's what like you just leave it behind. It's not that way. It's not that way. You know, there are people living like here in North America, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean, and and what they call Asia. You have West Asia, you have Central Asia, you have South Asia, you have East Asia, where there are people who are of African descent, of African ancestry, who were forced to live in parts of the world, and their ancestry can be traced all the way back to the continent of Africa. And then before I end this video, we're going to deal with West, the East African slave trade, and the West African slave trade, and who are these people that were being traded as slaves. We're going to start with the West African slave trade. And when it comes to African traditional living, West African traditional living, the people that I'm speaking about, their religion was African traditional living, West African traditional living, and the East African slave trade and the West African slave trade. It says that the slave trade from Africa to the Western Hemisphere. Now, the regions, the parts of Africa where they had the most slaves, there's a list. I have a list to the Western Hemisphere. And the Western Hemisphere on this planet is North America, which is Canada, the United States of America, uh, Mexico, Central America, South America, the Caribbean. Now, the country of Senegal, Gambia, they sent 4.8% of the population were, were forcibly uh, sent into slavery. Senegal, Gambia, 4.8%. The Upper Guinea, Bissau, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, 4.1%. The Windward Coast, Liberia, and Cote d'Ivoire, 1.8%. The Gold Coast of Ghana and east of Cote d'Ivoire, 10.4%. The Bight of Benin, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, west of the Niger Delta, 20.2%. The Bight of Biafra, Nigeria, east of the Niger Delta, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon, 14.6%. West Central Africa, the Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola, 39.4%. 39.4%. Southeastern Africa, Mozambique, and Madagascar. They got slaves from Madagascar. 4.7%. 4.7%. And it says that when you deal with the people who were sent into slavery from West Africa, uh, it said that 45 distinct ethnic groups were taken to America during the slave trade. It said of the 45, the 10 most prominent, according to slave documentation. Number 1, the Bakongo of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Angola. Number 2, the Mandi or Mindi of Upper Guinea. Number 3, the Gibi speakers of Togo, Ghana, and Benin. Haja, Mina, Iwi, and Fan. Number 4, the Akan of Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Number 5, the Wolof of Senegal and the Gambia. Number 6, the Igbo of southeastern Nigeria. Number 7, the Mbudu of Angola, including both Mbundu and Ovembundu. Number 8, the Yoruba of southwestern Nigeria. Number 9, the Chambe of Cameroon. And number 10, the Makawa of Mozambique. Those are the people that were sent in the West African slave trade. And we're going to deal with the East African slave trade. And when you say the name Tipu Tip, he was a slave trader. He owned over 10,000 slaves in East Africa. And when you hear the name, you know what Zanzibar is right off. It's an island off the coast of Tanzania. When you know what Zanzibar is, you know who the people are that were being traded into slavery. When you say the word Zanj, Z-A-N-J, you know who it is that's being traded. The word Zanj means Bantu. The word Zanj, Z-A-N-J, it means Bantu in the East African slave trade. So you don't have to guess. You don't have to wonder who was being traded. When you do your research on the East African slave trade, the East African slave trade was all up and down the east coast of Africa, but mainly concentrated in the area of Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, around Mozambique, and the people that were being predominantly enslaved were the Zanj, Z-A-N-J, the Bantu. And where were they being sent? They were being sent to the Saudi Arabian Peninsula. They were being sent to India. They were being sent to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, all over the continent of Asia. So, and when it comes to African traditional religion and West African traditional religion, Niger, Congo, African traditional religion and West African traditional religion is very well alive in the people. So all over the world, Niger, Congo, no matter where we are, or no matter where we at, African traditional religion and West African traditional religion is alive in all of us. And the slave trade didn't end African traditional religion or West African traditional religion. The people just spread out. That's all it is. People just spread out from the continent of Africa and went to other parts of the world. But African traditional religion and West African traditional religion is continues today and will continue forever. And well, like I showed you my notebooks yesterday, so I won't get into that. The main thing I want to do in this video is to reiterate the information from yesterday and about acknowledging and recognizing the people, African traditional religion and West African traditional religion, Niger, Congo, A and B. That is our religion. That I'm Niger, Congo. And again, my name is Eric D. Johnson. I live here in the city of Memphis, the state of Tennessee, in the county of Shelby. And I'm over here in the Western Hemisphere, right here in the country of America, in the United States of America. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to work on my entertainment, my music industry. Before the end of October, or the end of this month, I will be going to the studio to record. And after I record, I will make a video. And all my fans, my supporters, be on the lookout. And until my next video, until I record, you take care of yourself. And I wish each and every one of you the very best.